All right, what's going on, guys? So here we are today. I'm coming to you with a video today on the Raspberry Pi 4. Now, my intentions is to set this up and create a APCO P25 digital scanner. I'm using an SDR dongle in one of the USB ports. We're going to put a monitor on here, and we should be able to plug a set of headphones into it and be able to use it just like a digital scanner at a fraction of the cost. Now, I was lucky. I got my Raspberry Pi used. It was about 40 bucks, so not too bad there. And I opted to go with the Uzi screen system. I had tried another screen system prior to this, and it was horrible. I kept having program problems. There was just issues that kept coming up, so that's why I opted to go with this one. Now, in the box, we've got the instruction booklet. We've got the 4-inch screen, which you'll see here plugs in via GPIO. It also has a port here for the fan. We've got a dimmer switch, a micro USB, and then the HDMI. Now, the reason I like this one is because it's simple plug and play. This HDMI jumper right here plugs into the Raspberry Pi and plugs into the screen, and you don't have to do a lot of setup. There's not a lot of drivers that's needed, anything like that. You'll be able to utilize this screen. You'll be able to VNC into it, work it on your computer, laptop, PC, whichever you decide to use. Now, digging on in here, we come with a small cooling fan. In this package, it comes with these brass heat dissipation pads. They've already got the thermal tape on the back of them. These are the originals that came off of the Pi, these silver ones, and then it also has the two blue ones that are ready to go on. I just took everything off and stuck it in this little bag here. Got a couple of little rubber bumpers to go on the bottom of the case. And then we come over here, we've got our hardware kit that has all of our screws and stuff in it. They provide you with a small screwdriver. Here's the stylus for the touchpad. These work pretty good on these little touch pads. I'm kind of impressed with it. And then we get in here and we have the actual case. Now, there's not a lot to this. It's basically 3 pieces. Another thing that appeals to me for this is the software that I'm going to be running is SDR Trunk. And to run it on the Pi, it pretty much just about maxes the CPU out. You can disable the waterfall and stuff as far as that goes in it. And I'll show you how to do that later on in another video when I show you the programming. But right now, we're going to dive in and get this set up to actually build it. All right, guys, so starting out, what we're going to do, I've got all the pieces laid out here, is we're going to use the short stands and the nuts. And it actually just screws on to the board itself. And once we get those tightened on, it'll attach itself to the lower plate. Now, I'm just hand tightening these. I don't think you need to go through and crank them down with a pair of pliers. I mean, this is a circuit board, so it's not going to be that intense. But let me go ahead and get these 4 put in. All right. So there we got our 4 standoffs. Those nuts are small. It's a little tedious to put those on. But once you get them on, it's set and it's ready to go. Now, going on to the bottom plate, it's got a protective film on it here that we're going to peel off. And in the pictures, this thing shows to be clear, but it looks like it's smoke colored. If I can get this other piece peeled off. There we go. So there is our bottom plate. Now, I know that micro SD goes in over here. Our USB ports are going to be on this side. So this is actually going to sit on this just like this. And there again, we've got that ability of having that airflow come through. So we'll just turn it over, line up our holes, put our screws in, and we'll have the lower portion of this built. All right. So our first one that we're going to apply is going to be for the CPU itself, which is realistically probably the most important one considering what we're going to be doing with this. And my hands aren't that steady, so I'm using a pair of tweezers to set this on here and get it lined up. And then once it's in place, we'll stick it down. Now the next one we'll go on this, which I can't remember if this is the HDMI output or if it's the RAM. This is the first time I've done anything with a Raspberry Pi, so I'm still learning as I go. And I'm sharing this information with you because I know that this can be done. I've tested it, and it actually functions and works as a digital P25 scanner. Now our next two, which are our heatsink blocks here that it came with, these little blue ones, they go on each one of these pads here. Now one thing I'm going to do when I go to put this together is I'm going to test fit with the fan. It actually attaches right here with double-sided tape. And once I get this sit down on there, looking at where the fan's going to be, that'll kind of tell us how we're going to set everything up to make sure it all joins together. Because what we want is we want the fan to actually be blowing air down onto this. Pulling air in through the top underneath the screen and pushing it down and dissipating that heat out. Alright, we will take off our tape here if I can get a hold of it. Now, based on the instructions, this fan goes on with the decal side out because there's no direction on it. Normally these will have like a small arrow pointing which way they're blowing, but this one, just based on the instructions, is all we have to go on. We're going to put it in with it facing down. And then this is labeled negative and positive. So under normal circumstances, that'll be negative on that side and positive on this side. So there we go. Now we're just going to tuck our wires in. Make sure they're not touching or rubbing. Then what we'll need to do is start to do the assembly of the rest of our case with our screen, which means we'll get the protective coating off of this piece. It's got two small tabs that fit right there. Then we're going to plug the screen in. And it's crucial that you make sure this plugs into the correct pins. I'm going to set this off for just a second. And I want to show you that it goes all the way to the very end. That's where your first set are going to go in. And then this plugs on. Just like that. Now, that's got the screen on. Then the only thing we have left is to install the jumper. This little HDMI jumper goes from the HDMI 1 port to the screen itself, and it just simply plugs in. Now, this is why I like this setup. This is plug and play. Easy to do, no problem. We're pretty much just about complete. What we'll do now is we'll start the process of putting the actual housing together, which first off is going to be 4 of these standoffs. There guys, so there you see it. There's our 4 standoffs. Now I just need to get this spacer back in here, which is the end of the case, and it actually works as a support for this end of the screen. So we just have to raise the screen up enough just to get it underneath the edge there. Now we'll remove the protective coating. Can only go one way. Line up the 2 tabs. Well, we'll peel the protector off the screen now. Then line up our 2 tabs and set that down. Now we've got our 4 screws that'll go into our standoffs to hold our assembly together. Alright, so there you go, guys. That's it. We have completely built our Raspberry Pi 4 case to have everything installed in it. I'm going to grab an SD card and a power supply. We'll stick the card in. We'll shoot the power supply to it, and we'll get it booted up. Now you'll notice we've got 3 extra pieces here. That's just because that they actually provide you with 1 extra small screw, 1 extra large, and 1 extra nut in case you were to drop one or lose one. So let's grab that card and stick it in. Alright. So we've got our micro SD card. I've got everything loaded onto it and ready to go. So we're going to insert it into the Pi. Make sure it's completely seated. Then we will plug this in. Now I'm using a CanaKit power supply here. You can use different ones, but here we go. It's just going to take it a few minutes to boot up. Once the Pi system comes up, we should have a display and a desktop. So there you go, guys. We are up. The screen's up. Now, we don't have touch yet. We're going to have to VNC this over to the PC and go in and go to the website here and go ahead and install these through the terminal. That gets the drivers loaded in, and I'm going to do that now, and then we should have this up and running. Alright guys, so now we are in the VNC server, and we've got a couple of command lines to type in, and I'm going to run through those. Alright guys, so we ran all the commands. Now it's in the process of doing a reboot. As soon as it comes back up, we should have touchscreen capabilities, and we should still be able to log in through VNC server to do any changes and stuff that we need to make, do it on a bigger screen. But you'll have the ability to do it here on this 4-inch screen, and you'll see here I've got a little Logitech USB plugged into the side where I can use a mouse and a keyboard. But now we are back up, and we're going to give it a quick test. And there you go. So guys, there it is. We'll go ahead and go in and do a shutdown. And the Pi's shutting down. So guys, that's it. That's the 4-inch screen. It takes a little bit of time, and you have to do the programming and stuff as far as that goes. But that gets us set up to the point where right now we're running the Raspberry Pi 64 OS. The latest one straight off of the Raspberry Pi site. And we're running a 4-inch screen that gives us touch capabilities to launch applications and make changes. We can still plug in the USB over here and use a keyboard and a mouse if we'd like to, and you can do it right here on the screen, or you can VNC in. Now, the other aspect of it is that this left one of our HDMI ports open, so we could actually run 2 monitors, this monitor and another one, if we wanted to do that. But you've still got your earphone port and your USB-C. All of your USB-A and your network is still available, and you can access your SD card through the end of this case. It's open air. You can see through it. It's going to do really well as far as dissipating the heat when we're really running some, extensive processing, especially trying to do the APCO P25. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want you to stick with us. We're going to be coming to you with more videos. I'll show you how to load the actual operating system onto the Pi. Then I'll show you how to connect the RTL SDR up to it and load the drivers for it. And we'll do a video on downloading SDR trunk onto it and setting it up and running it as an AppCode P25 scanner. So guys, listen, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Give this video a thumbs up. Drop comments or questions down below. As always, stick with us. We're going to be coming to you with more videos.